Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show. We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth
and sell it on the internet really fast.
I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit. We are Jack and Jill, and this is the Jack and Jill Show too.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land.
for half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWit.
Hi.
Welcome to our show. In this episode, Jill and I talk about how we live or die by our data quality. Excellent show today. I love data. Let's take a question posted by one of our members on successplant.com. First, it's our free online community.
Okay. Jason asks, this is a long one. I'm going to try to paraphrase here. I almost sold 2 adjacent parcels that I acquired.
I'm going to go get a cup of coffee while you read this because it's like 4 pages.
No, you're silly. I almost sold 2 adjacent parcels that I acquired a couple weeks ago. This would have been a terms deal, and it broke down on what I wanted to get out of the down payment. The lead came in from a letter I sent to the neighboring property owners. I haven't marketed to the general public yet, and here are the numbers.
That's just like us.
This is really good. Okay, so these 2 properties I purchased for $750 each, so we're $1,500 in. I offered them for $3,500 each cash, or $3,000 each if they bought both.
That's 4 times.
He seemed mildly interested in this, but then we talked terms. We verbally agreed to $5,500 each. Good, marking them up. 10% down, $200 a month. He asked me to send him the details through the email so he could make sure that this is what he wanted to do. After I sent him the details, I heard back from him 2 days later saying he couldn't swing it financially. What would you do to close the deal? Reduce or eliminate the down payment? Reduce the payment and extend the length of the financing? Reduce the price? He just cut off negotiations cold, no counter. So, and this is the last paragraph here, I'm leaning towards going back to him with a reduced down payment. If he doesn't still bite, then I'll reduce the price. I should have some room there. This would be my first sale. Any guidance would be much appreciated.
How about I go first and then you answer? Because I think we're going to have different answers.
Okay.
Number one, I've said this probably 100 times on this show. I'll say it again. Why are you doing a deal, quote unquote? This is not how this works. This is what I say to our members over and over and over and over again. Do the same thing like a machine on every transaction. So the buy side went great. He sent a bunch of mailers out. Some people signed them or sent them back or called them back, and he purchased the property for $750, which is clearly way under value. Check. Acquisition, awesome. Nice work. Like a machine, regardless of who calls you or what, and this somebody intervened and delayed this guy's success. Post them all over the internet. Post them on your website that you've created. Do the same process for sales. I see this over and over and over again, where you do all the work on the acquisition piece, you buy it for the right price, and you drop the ball on the sales piece because you just don't follow all the way through. Mm-hmm. What's happening here is the buyer called, and they're talking a lot about the deal on the phone. Multiple times they're talking numbers, and I would say no. If it was more than 2 conversations, I would just say no, and the deal died, and that's what happens almost all the time. So that's my answer. Post the stuff all over the internet. Make sure on your website that they can check out by clicking a button and paying by credit card the same way people buy shoes on the internet or anything else for that matter. That's the deal that you want to do. And that's making money in your sleep. This is actively talking to people and going out and doing deals. And it's just, you're never going to break the economies of scale if you're doing deal like a real estate agent. Go ahead, Jill.
Mm-hmm. No, you'd be surprised. I do agree. There was too much communication. Don't go back to him. Don't try to renegotiate. It's gone, and that's totally fine. You did everything right. You have these great properties. Now go out and sell them like Jack said the right way. Just pick up where you left off. And you know what? And it takes time. I know this because I was there. More recently than you, Jack. I mean, you know it too, obviously.
You have to break habits.
But
everything you've ever been taught.
Well, especially when you're brand new, you have to learn the right sellers or the right buyers and the wrong buyers. And it takes some time. And most of the time, you'll learn as you go. The ones that really bend your ear, that call you 6 times, that ask you about the trees, or they ask you about their mobile home, and they ask a lot of those detailed questions, they're not going to buy it in the end. The people, it's really interesting, but the real good, serious buyers are the ones that they do all their homework on their own before they call you. And they're only calling you to find out one less little detail about the transaction, as they're wiring the money or checking out kind of thing, if they call you at all.
That's right.
So those are the best ones. And so hey, it was a great learning experience. You know who the neighbor is. All good, and move on. Yeah, don't waste time. I guess that's it.
Exactly. If you have a question or you want to be on the show, call 800-725-8816. Today's topic, how we live or die by our quality data. This is the meat of the show. And this could be a super short show if we wanted to. Here's the types of quality. Here's the data that you can get. Of all the possibilities of real estate data, here they are. Number 1. You can buy a list that you received an email from Indonesia, and a nice person who doesn't clearly type English very well says, I have a list of all the people who own X in Texas, and I'll give it to you for 35 cents. Just send click here to credit card process. And it's very tempting. All the people who own property in Texas, it's garbage. It's 100 years old. It's a mess. And you're wasting your time, because here's why. You're going to get that list and you're going to send it out in the mail. And that's the real money. Data doesn't cost that much. We only charge 8 cents. That's our cost. And it's the best data in the world. So the person that's sending a list around, never access a list, only access a database. Lists on the internet, it's tempting to buy and they're cheap. When you go to send mail, you're going to waste a lot of money because the data is not accurate. Here's another place you can get data. Directly from the county. Joseph falling asleep.
No,
you get that, that glass.
No, I'm just listening.
You ever lecture your kids about not playing with matches?
No.
She has that look. Like the kids are like, you know what? I've heard this 50 times. Yeah, I'm sorry. I played with matches. No,
the professor has 3 points to make, and I'm just sitting here patiently, quietly, and listening, and I like it. It's
Internet
good.
list. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Directly from the county. Yes, you can get the data. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But I can guarantee you this. It's always in a different format. So you're going to become a data expert. And if you're already a data expert, maybe the county is the way to go for you. I personally am convinced and sure that it's not. And number 3, products like data to doorstep. It's the data, same data that First American Title uses and the government uses and all that. You want in the same format, totally reliable. And now you're sending offers in the mail. And you know that person currently owns that property. You know the assessed value, and you're making incredibly good decisions, laser-like decisions about buying property versus splattering it all over the place with some crazy list that you got that's 25 years old. We live or die by our quality data, and so do our members.
So interesting. I was thinking about even like the back tax lists and the things that people get all excited about. It could be back taxes 3 months ago and they're current today. You don't know. That's one of the things I like too. We use the best current, and we mail everybody an offer. I don't just pick and choose. I'm going to hit them all, like you said. You know?
We put a cap on the assessed value for land.
Right.
If the assessed value is more than, let's say, $35,000 or $40,000, regardless of size, acres or anything, they just don't get a letter from us because the chances are it's worth way more than what we're asking.
Mm-hmm.
So
but as far as current or not current on the taxes, I don't care. I'm going to hit them all, and you just got to have the right data, the current data. It's awesome.
I had this is a little bit off topic, but I just answered a question from somebody recently on email. They said it was not on email, it was in Facebook, and they're not a member. And they said, a seller just called me back and said, what the heck is going on? This is the 4th letter I got in the last 2 months. What is there something changing in this market? What the heck? He was disgusted. Mm-hmm. And my question was,
back taxes.
Yeah. Did you mail it? Does he have back taxes on his property? Oh, yeah, that's all I send. I only send mailers out to back tax people. I said, all right, well, there's your answer.
Yeah.
And it's true. People who don't have back taxes never get a letter about anything. Houses, land, they don't. I don't know why. Bad information.
That's good because that's what keeps us going. That's why we're doing so well. So, another point to make about quality data is all the other tools and all the other uses you have for it. Looking at the vesting deed, confirming ownership. I mean, there's a lot of little things that we have in our data that not just for the mailer part, but for the now when I'm doing my homework, when I'm doing my research, gosh, I got to have access and quickly while I have this guy on the phone right now, I need to make sure I'm talking to the right guy, and I'm ready to buy it. And we have all that. That's the thing I just love too, right at my fingertips. I can go, all right, I don't have to scroll down through my list and go, what day did I mail that out? What's your name again? Whatever, I can quickly pull them up, and it's really nice.
That's a fantastic point. And, you hear me say all the time, it's the same data that the title companies use. And Jill's driving that point home better than I have in the past. It's not just real estate ownership data. It's not 4 columns of data, first name, last name, address, and property. These columns go out, 40, 50, 80, 100 times. You know everything about how much they paid. I mean, information's power, right? So, yeah, when they call back, it's the same data source. You can check to see if they actually own it. You're avoiding, by getting the right data in the very first place, you're avoiding a tremendous amount of expense, financial and time, and mistakes.
Another point that I'm sitting here thinking of all the things that our members have told us. And one of the things that a member said that was so beneficial to them was being able to pull the best data in the same way for every single county saved him so much time sorting and putting together lists. And he's like, I can do multiple counties at the same time. I can merge this, I can do that, because it's delivered the same way. I don't have to rethink about it for this county or that county or whatever it is. And that was a huge time saver for him.
I mean, that's a big issue. And if you've never processed data to send out a mail merge or a mailer from the county, it's hard to appreciate, how complicated it is. It's incredibly complicated. You lose a ton of integrity while you're doing it. A lot of the data that they may provide is in a way that you can't read it, like assessed value, the way that they name their columns. It's all different. You do it from county to county to county, and every state is entirely and completely different. With our data, it's all the same, and you just get used to it one time, and you're off to the races. Hey, you want to be a deal maker, all right? You don't want to have a PhD in data processing. So how much does it really cost to get that ultra cheap upfront data? Or free data? How much does it really cost? That's the question.
Do you know what, Jackie just brought up something so good. I almost feel like I'm cheating. Like you just said.
Yeah, me too.
It's like if you go get it from the county, you get to sit and figure it out. Oh, that's zoning. That's not what that is. You have to, sometimes some of the stuff you got to figure out what the stupid column is. It may not be that great.
If it's in columns. It's usually not.
Right. And then with ours, I almost feel like, seriously, it's like cheating. I just got a cheat sheet is exactly what I got. I really have the list today of everybody in this county with all the attributes that I put in there, all the criteria I just put in there, and it's spelled out in order the way I organized it. Gee, I mean, it does not get any better than that. It's so funny.
Right. All good points. Hey, this is the Technical 2 minutes of property investment advice from our 15-year, 15,000 plus transaction experience. It all starts with quality data. If you start with bad data or substandard data, you will pay in the end in postage or in research. If you have quality data up front, you will spend the right amount, choose the right properties to download, choose the right owners who receive the right offers, and when they sign your offers and send them back, you'll have the research all done and at your fingertips to decide whether or not you want to buy it. It just makes so much sense. It's very hard to convey. It's so tempting to buy cheap data because it's just cheap.
I personally love it. It's great because I have a lot of people that come to us that have struggled with bad data, and I tell them, you know what? It's okay. You I'm glad that you know that. I'm glad you've seen the other side. You are not going to be spoiled by this. You're going to go, oh, yay. It's like the heavens open up.
Yeah.
Oh, when you see like, oh, this is it. So it's a good thing. I'm like, I'm glad now you know that side. Now you're going to see this and you're going to, you know, it's awesome.
I got a comment from a compliment from a guy on Facebook recently, and he said, I've sent out thousands and thousands of letters to commercial real estate owners, and he has our program and the whole, and data to doorstep and the whole thing. And he said, I've never, he said, after multiple years of doing this has filled in all the answers and the gaps and the holes and what I've been doing, for years. And he's like, I can't wait to get this out in the mail.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I love that kind of stuff. I know you do too.
I'm glad he's back with us. He knows who I'm talking about.
Oh, you know what? It wasn't. I know.
Oh, it's not that guy?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but it's the same concept.
Okay.
Hey, if you have any questions, you want to be on the show, call 800-725-8816. My favorite part of the show, Jill's inspiration.
Transparency. I was talking to a member the other day, and we were laughing because he was talking about him and his partner, and his partner wants to be the behind the scenes kind of partner. And so the member and I were laughing because he said, if I'm the face of this business, I'm, not sure. We might be kind of in trouble here. and so we laughed, and I said, it doesn't matter. He said, I know. I said, it's really about transparency. People need to I don't know if this is necessarily inspirational, but I think it can be both. But you need to be out there and doing the right thing. And part of what I think is if you're out there and people know you and see you, you have to be doing the right thing. So that's why it leads credibility to you and your business and what you're doing.
Exactly.
So it's just being transparent. And it's funny because that's one of the things that you and I laugh about, Jack, in our program, because we didn't know that. And, we thought we could, for years, we don't have to be on there. Look how funny, if anyone knew us 5 years ago, there were no photos anywhere. And now you see us today with our photo front and center. Oh, talk about different. We learned.
I was bent on not having a Facebook page my whole life. And I still don't use it socially, but, absolutely, Jill. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a trend.
Isn't that funny?
I thought transparency, so it started a while ago, and now it's big, huge companies they're disclosing everything on commercials. Mm-hmm. That's how a way to earn trust.
It is.
I think.
Well, and it spills over into everything that we do. So, for example, I'm renting a vacation home. I have done this. I have said, look, we're responsible, or we're respectable.
We're not going to have
things.
a toga party,
right? And I will tell people,
or maybe we will
go look at my website. This is us, and they're like, oh, okay, all right, and that calms everybody down, and it makes them feel like they know you a little bit,
right?
And they trust you, and apparently we don't look like kooks, So
I know.
Thank you, but it helps. You're thinking about that thing on the beach the other day.
We were riding our bikes on the beach a couple days ago, and Go ahead, Jill.
Tell the pre thing and the end thing. Okay, so
go ahead.
As we're heading one direction down the Strand, there's this beautiful home, and it's got this big thing, and I'm thinking it's like a wedding reception set up. These big white tents, and you see caterers. This is on our way to dinner, mind you. So we're riding our bikes, caterers, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a big thing. I'm thinking, oh, it's a wedding reception. So we go to our dinner, have a good time. Everything's great. And now we're riding back the other direction on the Strand. Jack, what did we see?
A toga party.
Yes. That was hilarious.
And what is Jill's comment? If I ever had any thoughts about VRB owing my house,
oh my gosh,
they're gone now.
Right?
And she's right.
All I could think of was, Whoever rented that home out, they're thinking, oh, hey, sweetheart, what could go wrong? It's totally great. Oh, yeah, there's a toga party right now on your patio.
Yeah, I don't need to take
a catered toga party. So
there's no need to take my jewelry with me. It is going to be fine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is packed. So funny. And that wasn't even the 4th of July. That was before that. That was hilarious.
Hey, don't get tempted by cheap data. It's going to cost you more money in the end. Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's me,
and inspiration, that's me,
to get just about anything you want
We use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We should have a toga party. You know, sometimes about one of the rewards of being an adult is you can do all the stupid stuff that you ever wanted to do as a kid, but you couldn't afford it.
Yes.
I just put a 400-watt stereo system in my on my motorcycle because I couldn't when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that.
It's true. It is more fun now. We can't afford to do anything we want.
I bet if I said, let's have a planned out kegger, you would say yes.
Oh, heck yeah.
You know, not open to the public, but like to our friends, you'd be like, hey, let's get 2 kegs.
Yeah, absolutely.
That gets me thinking.
Yeah, right there in the patio.
That'd be fun.
We could do that.
Why wouldn't we do that?
I don't know.
All right.
I'm okay.
I'm going to put that in the calendar.
Okay. Let me know.
Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We are the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land.
for half price just so we can flip it for way more.
And really fast. Thanks for listening.
Let's go buy some property.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
Landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.